Sorry, am I doing the intro?
I don't know what you're doing. I just thought you'd respond since it's like a conversation thing we got to do.
Good day to you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Whatever, man.
How is this fine podcast morning treating you?
Standard, ish day and whatnot. Got stuff to do, things to say, people to talk about. You know how it goes.
Well, if you're listening to this intro and you're finding yourself confused, we're Mindless Prattle. We're going to talk about things and more.
Things and more. Yep, more things.
If I say stuff and things, you always are like, oh, you say
just
that all the time.
default to it. Yeah, that's your default. You're like, I know, I'll reference the show that no one's watched in years.
Well, it's I'm
fine with it.
Vocabulary is made up of random phrases and words I've heard online.
Well, how about you look at some new phrases from like this century? How about that one?
Okay, well, I'm Ripley. That's Jordan. So since we're like an Austin-based podcast, did you see what happened yesterday in the Senate in Texas?
Did more people drown?
No.
That'd be weird if they drowned in the Senate, but okay, go on.
Our Attorney General, Attorney General Ken Paxton was impeached yesterday.
He was. I saw that.
And I was looking at like the numbers of the vote. You know it's pretty bad because they voted against him 121 to 23. Like,
have you read into it at all or anything, or just
apparently like bribery, abuse of office, obstruction, some pretty heavy stuff. So I didn't know much about it until yesterday, when I saw it, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, apparently this is like the first time this has happened since like 1970 something, 1975.
I don't know. I woke up this morning and I saw the headlines about it, but I didn't read too much into it. And I just saw it and I was like, all right, cool, good enough. On to my video game news.
I just haven't seen like some unity politically that much in a while, you know?
Some unity? What do you mean?
Yeah, like, it's pretty bad when like 60 Republicans voted against him. Like, it's pretty bad when your own party is like, man, you fucked up. Like, like it's so divided, you know?
I don't care about if your party or like, it doesn't matter what party you identify with. If you're doing illegal things, you should be prosecuted for it. Like, I don't care what party you're a part of. Party has nothing to do with it. If you do a bunch of illegal shit and your party is like, no, we support him, then that party's a piece of shit no matter the party. All right, like, fucking get him out of your party if that's a person that you don't want to be associated with.
But it'll probably take years before any results happen, but just thought that was interesting, and since it's like local news or whatever.
Local news, yeah, okay.
Some loud sirens in the background. Is that you or me?
It's probably me. There's always people doing crazy stuff here.
You said you have video game news? I haven't heard any video game news.
I got lots of news, alright? It's me. Like, this article, I just like scrolling through articles, and this one, like, some of them I'm just like, that's some bullshit. I'm not even gonna click on it, you know? Like, I'll downvote you. How do I downvote you? It says...
Are you on Reddit?
No, I'm just on the newsfeed site. But, like, it just says McDonald's diners are shunning fries. And I'm like, what? Who the hell goes to McDonald's and doesn't get fries? Like, what?
Is it because they're expensive? Because they have increased the price of French fries a lot the past couple of years.
Yeah, like, maybe there's that, but like...
But what an interesting way to say that. They're shunning them.
They're shunning fries. And I'm like...
These fries are no longer a part of our community.
Yeah. Have you seen Pixar's newest movie that they're making? It's like Romeo and Juliet version 953.
What is ever going to be better than Romeo and Juliet? So...
Yeah, well, this one is about a man that's made of water and a woman that is made of fire, and it's called
That Elemental movie?
Yeah.
I have seen like teasers online. I think it looks so cute.
That's what my sister said too, but this article just says it gets a lukewarm reception at its first premiere, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll judge it for myself later, but whatever.
Yeah, I think I've enjoyed most Pixar movies I've seen. I don't think I've seen as many as you, but okay, so this is completely unrelated, but can I just tell you about something I really want to do in The Sims?
Yes, I'll lead it right into my Sims discussion here in a minute.
So, I was watching Little Simsy's video. If you don't,
what?
Lil Simsy, her name is Kayla. She's like one of the top Sims streamers, video makers.
Is that her like Twitch name?
That's like her YouTube Twitch name. Her name's Lil Simsy.
Okay. I was very confused. I'm like, I thought you were talking about like in the game they named something Little Simsy, and be like, what are you doing, EA? Come on.
No, I think she's really she seems really nice. Like all of her content is like super wholesome. Like she genuinely just really enjoys playing The Sims. But so I watch her videos pretty often. I don't really catch her streams, but I watched this thing where she left The Sims on for 24 hours in real time and just saw what happened. But so it got me thinking that I did this once already, but I want to do it again with like a better setup. Because one time I made my Sims do like a Love Island style challenge, but I made like random Sims occult Sims, so there'd be like a vampire or an alien in the group, and then I would just like force them to live in a house on the beach and see if any of them fall in love. And a lot more Sims die in the making of these projects than you think would. Like, what could go wrong? You're just letting them have fun. No, everything. But that's really what I want to do after we finish the podcast today. And I just wanted to share.
You're gonna go set up another little simulation to see if people can fall in love. Ooh.
I want to get more like Sims mods though, because I have like some fun ones, but I want to see if there's like a restaurant mod or something. Because the biggest complaint with The Sims 4 is the careers are pretty like lackluster, and then obviously it's very, very buggy. It is so annoying.
Always the biggest complaint that the careers are lackluster, not that the game doesn't run well. What are you on about right now?
Because it's like some bugs, you can excuse, like, or they like make the game a little fun. It's like it's something silly, but then a lot of the ones I experience are just like game breaking. It's not like there was a period of time where I couldn't load the game up at all or open it because they released a patch that would just like crash the game. Like, or when they added
but the careers are wrong, so obviously that's the biggest fault with the game.
A few years ago they added the Dream Home Decorator pack, and I told you at the time I was so excited about it because I always wanted an interior decorator job in The Sims. Like that was one of my dream packs, along with like the wedding pack, and you can make your own wedding venues and stuff. And when they released it, it was literally broken. Like it would lead you to a Sims house and just wouldn't show you what room you were supposed to be designing. So you could spend like some time fixing it and then realize you did the completely wrong room and fail. Or when it first came out, no matter what you did, the people would get upset and not pay you. And after a while there was like the crash issue. So I keep waiting for EA to do better. And like, I know I shouldn't expect better.
I don't know why you do. Like, The Sims 4 has been out for what, like a decade? It hasn't gotten better.
Very long time,
it won't get better. Like, it's not gonna happen.
I think it came out in 2014.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Let me see. 2014.
Well, I thought you had more to say on it as well. But no, I was reading about The Sims earlier because this article was 15 video games that were gonna be made into movies, but then the movies like got canceled. At number 15 is The Sims, and I'm like, how would you even make that into a movie? That would just be someone's life.
No, you know what? I think they could do The Sims very well if like the Barbie movie that's coming out with Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
I think something like that would be cool. Because have you seen the new trailer for that?
No, I haven't.
It's oh my god, it is so funny. Margot Robbie as Barbie is like dancing on a like stage with a bunch of other Barbies, and she just goes, "Have you guys ever thought about dying?" And the music like stops, and all the other Barbies just turn to look at her, and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" And then like her heels drop and become flat, and they're basically like, you can either stay in Barbieville or you can leave and discover the truth. And she goes, I want to stay. And the other Barbie is like, no, you want to leave and discover the truth. I think something like that, like a really satirical look at it might work.
It needs to be like just some regular people living like together in some big house, and then all of a sudden they just freeze and like all the decor and the walls change around them. And then
you know what? It should be a horror movie.
Again. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
You know, like what was that movie that we watched?
Like, I think God sold it.
What was the movie we watched with, like, was it Jesse Eisenberg or whatever, where they were trapped in that?
Vivarium.
Vivarium. Yeah. A Sims scary movie like that, where they're like trapped in a house and things keep happening to them against their will, and they slowly learn their Sims. That I would watch that. I'm sure there's already stuff on YouTube that people have made though, because the Sims fandom is like, they make a lot of their own movies and stuff with the Sims. It's pretty fun. I find myself watching them on like TikTok and stuff, and I'm like, why am I watching this like 10-minute long video about a Sim story?
Headphones definitely just got ripped out of my ears. All right.
Oh my god. Okay, so have you seen the video game apology memes lately?
No. Is that is that the name of the game?
No. So we talked about the Redfall miss launch last week on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
And then I didn't play it, but I guess the Gollum game released, and that was an even worse launch than Redfall.
Oh my god. Okay, so I have news about it too.
Okay. So they put out an apology about this. No, I haven't. I've seen like the little picture of Gollum, and he doesn't look good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He doesn't look anything like the movie or like.
Apparently, they put out an apology, and so did Redfall. And so somebody on Reddit, like posted a thing, just posting all the video game apologies that they've put out over the years. And I did see somebody speak about this on Twitter the other day as well. They were like, "Why are we like forcing these people to put out apologies for their content? Like some things are allowed to just suck." Which I get, but something I disagreed with was they said,
it's just like a $60 game. Failed at this.
Well, they were like, oh, it's just a $60 game. Like, they don't owe you anything. And I would argue absolutely the opposite of that. Like,
no, if you paid for it and it's trash, it's the same thing. Like if you bought like a shirt from like Walmart or Target or wherever, and you got it and it just had a bunch of holes in it. And like if you bought something online and it showed up, and it was not even a shirt, you're like, this isn't what I ordered. Like
yeah, like you buy a shirt and they send you like a Barbie doll t-shirt. Like
if they send you like if they send you it and be like, hey, try out our new shirt, and like you get a pair of shorts, you can be like, yo, what happened with this? Like I got a shorts instead of a shirt. It's the same thing. Like you just got something you weren't expected. But if you bought it, I expect it to be what I paid for.
Well, but to me, I'm also thinking of it like they're like, oh, it's $60. It's not that much. Yeah, $60 isn't that much to adults who have their own money and established careers and stuff. But like when I was a kid, for example, we went to Blockbuster and rented games, and we would rent them every single week until my mom was finally able to buy it or something. But like being able to buy a video game was like a big deal for us, And so deciding which $60 game that you're going to spend your money on is a big deal. Some people are only going to buy like one game a year because that's all they can really afford. Like gaming is a really expensive hobby at the end of the day. And I think if you pay 60, 70, 80, 90 bucks, if you're getting these special editions for a game, you should expect that it's going to at least run well and work right the day it releases. Otherwise, you've lied about your product, and that's not the service that you've paid for.
Yeah,
but I would like to hear about what you were saying, the Gollum story thing.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the art design just on like the cover looks terrible. Like it doesn't even look like a regular.
Oh yeah, I just had it pulled up on my phone too, and it's like scary. It's like it's like having a dream about something scary, but like you misremember it.
He has such a pronounced jaw for some reason. Like it's super like sticks out like past his face, but I'm like, I don't.
Like you didn't have to do my man Gollum like that, Like he already had a pretty terrifying, gruesome look. You didn't need to make it more so, Like let Gollum be himself.
Yeah, it was. I saw that and I was like, all right, man.
Okay, also,
fuck them over. What's up?
This is completely random, but I've been watching a bunch of TikTok clips of this guy playing Skyrim in VR. but he's installed all these mods so he can like physically interact with people and talk to them and stuff. And I want to do it so bad, but I don't.
What, like
think
they
my
have
computer can
actual
handle
conversations or what?
Yeah, like you can talk to them, and like these people modded in extra dialogue and stuff, so like they'll respond to what you say, and then like you can physically stop, like grab them and move them, because currently
you have to like hook up a mic so you can talk to them, or
yeah, you have to like have a headset mic on or something.
Interesting. But then how does the game know what you're saying? Because there's no, is that one of the mods that it recognizes voice commands? Like,
yeah, they probably have. It's like,
you know, it's got to have
like
their
a keyword
own little
or
version
something.
of like what is it, like the phone do, the text to speech? It's got to have like some version of that in there, right?
Yeah, you know, probably like, oh, you say hello, so they know to respond like hello or greet you in some way.
Right,
like
right.
That.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
It just looks like so much fun. Like I don't think my computer can handle it because she's getting up there.
You keep saying that and it's gonna break down just out of spite. Like, you gotta calm down.
You know what? I can't complain because my computer handles all of the mods I have in The Sims and in Skyrim and in Fallout, and you know,
like you're currently using the computer and calling it a piece of shit. Like, what do you? How about you appreciate? No, how about you appreciate that it still works and you don't have to sit here on an iPad? Like, what are you doing?
That is absolutely true.
You have a desktop that works. I have a laptop that turns into a jet engine every time I try and play like Minecraft. Like,
and you know what? Sometimes I have to stop myself and remind myself what computers were like when I was in middle school. Like 13-year-old me would be dreaming of this. She'd be like, wow, you can play Skyrim on your computer?
Yeah. Oh my god, they're making a John Wick 5. I didn't even watch 4. I don't even know if I watched 3. I'm gonna be honest.
I didn't see
like
3 or 4. I've seen 1 and 2.
They're just churning them out. 1 was really good. 2 was all right, and I didn't watch 3 or 4. I didn't even know 4 was out, and now they're making 5 and apparently a video game with it. I'm like, what?
Oh, I might play a game.
What is the? Well, but sure, but like, what is the game gonna be? Like, you're gonna have to move everybody else in slow motion in order to get like the same accuracy as him in the movies, you know? Like,
yeah, maybe it'll be like a power, like you activate it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Activate the Matrix.
But it's already been done in so many other video games. It's like, oh, you can slow down time. Like, it does that. You can do that in Red Dead. Like, it's the same thing.
I haven't played Red Dead in such a long time. I have so many video games I really need to finish, but I just...
Have you never finished the campaign of Red Dead 2?
No.
Dude, it's good. You need
to, I think, Pinkerton?
Oh yeah, you're not even close to being done.
No, not at all. I mostly played online when I was playing it on my Xbox.
Nah, you gotta jump back into that.
I gotta finish Valhalla too.
I need to finish Atomic Heart. Valhalla is good, dude. Oh my gosh, the ending of Valhalla was actually fairly surprising. It was nice. It was a nice little surprise at the end.
I just get very overwhelmed with these games because, like, with Valhalla, for example, they keep giving me free DLC and stuff every time I log in.
Yeah, it's just free content. It's not even DLC.
And I'm already not done with the current content.
It's just more more side content. Like, oh, there's a festival this week. And you're like, how is there a festival every week? Like, it's like all the Vikings did was just raid, and then they had festivals in between the raids, apparently, according to Ubisoft.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah,
maybe I'll roll my chair out in front of the TV and play something, because like I used to play The Witcher on my PlayStation, and I literally would go through each section of the map and like 100% everything. So I know I can do it. I know I can be that kind of gamer. I just find it very difficult.
I actually saw something about that this morning, and it was like, are you a millennial in denial starter pack? And it was just not one of the little like icons they put on there was like, not spending as much time on your hobbies as you used to, and it was just a picture of someone with a controller like looking sad. I was like, yeah, all right.
You know what's something that like annoys me a little bit?
What's up?
I'll see people online who are like basically like they're too old to play video games. Like they'd be like, oh, I stopped playing video games because there's like more important things. And I get like, you know, life might get a little hectic every once in a while. You can't play as often, but I think it's really weird to say video games are like have like an age limit. Like, yeah, if you're a person who's sitting there literally just spending hours and hours and hours playing games and doing nothing else,
they don't have an age limit. Yeah, I think it just has a responsibility factor when you get older, you know?
Like, have you seen Skyrim Grandma?
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up, was like, she plays Skyrim, she's grandma.
Yeah, it was actually really sad. I don't remember what happened to her, what if she had like a stroke or something like that, but I know she had like a medical issue a while ago that caused her to lose her memory. But she said
Oh,
she was
really?
really
I don't know.
excited because she said she would get to experience Skyrim for the first time again.
Yeah, she just like, well, I guess I'll play this again. That's what the kiddos want.
Like that is
That's
like so
awesome.
sweet and
It's
sad at the
like
same time. I'm like,
it's a
me
dream.
too, but
Okay, but like if there was a potion, right, where you could like set it to a specific video game or whatever, right, where you'd be like, I'm gonna forget everything about this video game, and you can play it again for the first time, you would drink that potion. You would be
I don't think I
buying that.
would actually.
You wouldn't, for no video games, you wouldn't want to experience it for the first time again, or like TV shows or movies.
I feel like for like books and movies and stuff maybe, but for some of my favorite video games, I think they're my favorite because I played them like when I didn't have a lot of other great stuff happening in my life, you know? Like when I started playing Skyrim, there was a lot of shit going on in my family that was really hard to deal with. So I think part of the reason I latched on to Skyrim and loved it so much was because it was like my little escape, you know? It was something I had to get me through those tough times in my life. And I feel like if I played it again at a different point in my life, like, yeah, I still love it probably, but would I be as obsessed with it as I am now? I don't know. However, if I could reread ACOTAR and Throne of Glass for the first time, I would. I would do that.
If I could reread. That's the same thing, though. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I really do need to finish a lot of games. But what is it? Atomic Heart. I haven't finished, but I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Survivor lately. It's really good. I'm gonna try and finish that before I go on to some other games that I need to finish.
I am.
Yeah. Dude. Well, speaking of millennials, we were talking about it a second ago. I just saw this. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. 12 jobs millennials are refusing to take.
Oh,
right. What jobs
them.
do you think would be on this list?
Coal miner? I don't know. I don't
Coal
even have a frame
miner?
of reference for this.
It's just jobs you wouldn't want to take. It's very interesting because like they wouldn't want to find out why, and it's like we all know the reason why. You don't pay enough. You don't pay enough to live.
You pay federal minimum wage
wages.
and no benefits.
Yeah, you don't pay enough to survive. That's why we don't take these jobs. Anyway, the number one. Also, they're very generic, by the way. Like I read it through it ahead of time. Number one, factory worker. Just any factory. We just don't want to work in, apparently.
Yeah, probably one of the hardest jobs on the planet. I've heard what
probably
it's like in
because
those
it's intense,
factories.
unsafe, and underpaid. Crazy. Number
Factories
two,
are like the reason that unions exist.
right. Number two, telemarketer. Yeah, we don't like talking with people on the phone because it's depressing. I'm
even
all for
that,
it.
but it's like, you know, cold calling people. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't mind working in a call center where people are calling you, but you have to cold call people, and then I think a lot of telemarketers are basically like scamming old people out of their money. Like,
Pretty
of course
much,
you wouldn't want to
yeah.
do that job. Makes you feel like shit every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a telemarketer. Like, I don't want to talk to people on the phone that I work with, let alone people I've never talked to or known before. Just random, be like, "Hello, is this so and so?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "Well, then I'm wrong. See you later."
No, and everybody that calls me is a spam artist. So I'm sure the most time you're just literally calling people and getting ignored for hours on end.
Yeah, that too.
Maybe if you really don't like people, it's a great job for you.
If you don't like people.
Or if you're like a narcissist, I'm sure like those types of jobs that have like a little loosey-goosey morals would be good.
Here's the reasoning. Like it shows reasonings on here. For the factory worker, I'll go back. The factory worker, it says the younger generation tends to choose career paths that provide them with intellectual challenges and creativity rather than factory working. Or working in factories. I'm like, yeah, because it's monotonous, boring, and doesn't pay. But sure, we're gonna go with that. It's not creative enough for us. I'm like, no, I will do the most mundane thing for 8 hours a day if it pays well. I do it like I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
If it
honestly,
pays, I will save my creativity for when I get home from work. There's no like it does not matter if my job's creative or not. I would like it to be, but if I can afford to live and be creative off of a mundane job, I will do that all day. You know?
I think I'm actually the opposite. Like I get if I get too bored at a job, I physically cannot function in that job. Like I've fallen asleep at the drive-through at my job before. And I think that's
like
part of
taking orders.
yeah, like literally just standing there taking orders. I have like nodded off. And I think that's part of the reason I kept promoting so much is because I was like, I need some more stimulation. Like I need something to do because once I get good at something, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, that was like my old job when I was drawing maps in Las Vegas. Yeah. I was good at it, but it was just so boring that I just didn't care about the job itself anymore, you know? So every time someone called me like, this needs to be changed, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll change it. I really don't care. Like, whatever.
Yeah, and I think people who are in those boring, monotonous jobs, like, that's part of the reason why they probably have so many creative outlets. Or I think reading is a really big hobby for a lot of people because of this, because even if you're stuck within four walls, you know, you can escape within the pages of a book.
Reading is getting more expensive, man. I'll tell you what, like books like physical books getting way more expensive. It's crazy. I'm like, are we this like scarce for trees? Like I understand that trees are a valuable resource, but I thought we had enough to make some books. Like
yeah, you know, I used to shell out like $15, $20 for a hardback that I really liked when I was in like,
they're all like $30 to $40 now.
It's like $20 for a paperback these days. And I mean, to be fair, most of the books I read are like 700, 800 pages long, but
no, all the book like I went to what was it, Barnes and Noble a week ago or something like that. All those books are fucking crazy expensive. I have no idea why.
You went to Barnes and Noble?
You went there without me. Don't act like this is a one-way street.
But you don't normally go there.
All right. Well, I passed by it. Is that better for you? Is that better for your little reality that you live in?
I was going to be like, what you get?
Little happiness on your side. Nothing. Books are expensive. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Oh, by the way, telemarketing jobs are less attractive because the millennials dislike pushy sales methods. Not that it's tedious, monotonous, and boring. Just like pushy sales methods. I like the reasonings on these because they don't actually make any sense, and I feel like the person who wrote this is not a millennial. You can tell because his name is Steve. No millennial's name is Steve. Like,
that is a Gen Xer.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Not even
next
a baby
job.
boomer. That is a Gen Xer.
Next job is, you were right. The next one is coal miner. Millennials don't want to be coal miners.
I got
Crazy. Due to their concern for the environment and preference for clean energy sources, millennials tend to avoid pursuing coal mining careers. They can also have coal mining has a negative impact on nature, such as pollution and climate, and contributes to climate change. Also, it's very hazardous to health. Like coal miners get sick a lot. Like there are still like birds. Even in the picture that they're using, it's like 3 people standing in mines covered in like black soot and ash without like masks on or anything. Like, of course I don't want to be in that condition.
And lest you forget, coal mining is what killed Katniss's father. So we don't do that.
No, I don't care about that. But like, oh yeah, that's it. Oh wait, the next one's a little more surprising. The next one says cashier. Millennials apparently don't want to be cashiers.
I mean, yeah.
Crazy. Cashier jobs often require repeating the same tasks and limited opportunities for career advancement. There's a new passion for technology among millennials, such as self-checkout machines and online shopping. The demand for cashiers is diminishing. Yeah, dude, the Walmart here in town, it has maybe like 3 cashiers and the rest of them are just self-checkout lanes because honestly it's simpler and it's easier. Anytime you need an attendant, you're just like, hey, I gotta buy like this alcohol or whatever, and they're like, okay, let me see your ID, boop, and then they move on, and you're like, cool, that was easy. You know, it's faster and it's easier. But like, here's another little blurb it puts on there. The current generation is more inclined towards pursuing professions that align with their values and provide individual and professional development. It's great. I think they mean to say that millennials, I don't know, value themselves, I think is what it's trying to say. Like what?
Yeah, no, okay, so every article I read that's like this is basically it comes down to that millennials are not willing to sacrifice the things that make them happy like their parents did. And you know what drives me crazy about that is I've heard your parents say it, I've heard my parents say it, they're always like, don't have kids, you know, like don't get married for as long as possible, like live your life, have your money. But now that we're all taking their advice, they're all like, why aren't you guys doing these things? Why aren't you
like, where are
working?
my grandchildren? I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, but like that's the other thing too. Like if I could sacrifice a little happiness, at a job and be able to afford living comfortably, I will make, that sacrifice. This is what I'm doing right now because because they're paying enough to where I can afford to live comfortably, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm sacrificing happiness for a minimum wage cashier job, of course I'm not going to sacrifice that. No, I'm going to go pursue something that's actually a decent time and I make a decent wage at it. Like, doesn't make any sense.
And it's like, oh God, what was I gonna say?
No idea.
Oh,
anyway,
people are like, oh, like why aren't people loyal anymore? But it's like, where are these companies' loyalty to us? So you're loyal to the jobs that you have and you do the things you need to because they give you the benefits in return to make it worth it.
This one's interesting, this next job. It says newspaper reporter. But the first sentence kind of shows why we're not going for this. Like, first of all, it says, due to the decline of print media and the rise of digital platforms, millennials show less interest in newspaper reporter jobs. Why would you show interest in a dying form? Like, it's a dying art form. Unless you're some historian who wants to preserve newspaper reporting, of course you're going to let it die. You have more opportunities to be an online article, like, writer, like reporter. That's crazy. Why would you choose a newspaper? I don't even know what newspapers are still in business. Maybe the New York Times. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
but a lot of them have gone digital. The only reason I could see like written media making a comeback was like if like there's truly like an issue between like a civil war or something like that, where government has control of like digital media. Writing might then become like a way to do subterfuge or something like that. But
subterfuge? What dystopian future are you living in? I'm only gonna write for the newspaper if I can put some subterfuge in there. I need to tell Johnny up in Boston that the postman's coming. Like what?
Sounds like something a synth would say.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Need to use it for subterfuge. Okay.
You know what's funny? I keep saying Chat GPT has been like in the news a lot for different things, but I keep seeing articles where people are like worried about Chat GPT taking over the world and like AI, and then I keep seeing other articles that are like, oh, people are too stupid for Chat GPT to like take over everything because people are literally like copy pasting things from Chat GPT and then turning it into like their jobs or their school or stuff, and then there will be like a random sentence that'll be like, I'd always say something like, as I am an AI, I cannot have an opinion on this. And like the people don't proofread and they just turn it in or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just think that's so funny.
I keep seeing the posts where it's like, how come we made a AI that can write stories and, books and philosophies and whatnot, but not one that can just like, I don't know, run a farm so that we don't have to be farmers and miners and like,
what would people do then?
Crazy.
Like
that's what people were saying. They're like, shouldn't we have been making robots to take the labor jobs so we can pursue the creative jobs, not make them that are painting pictures and writing stories, and now we're in the factory still.
The thing is, it's literally just stealing these stories and these art from like online. It's like
it references other things and then tries to change it slightly enough to make it decent.
I saw a thing recently where a big publishing company fired all of their artists and said they're going to be moving to AI covers. A lot of artists are now boycotting any publisher that chooses to use AI art.
Yep, they're using. It was the same thing with the. What was it? There's a writers association that did that. Like a publishing company fired like half of its writers and said they'll replace them with AI, and then they were like, okay, and then they had to hire them back, and they wanted to hire back the writers as proofreaders to proofread the AI's work because it wasn't, it says it's an AI most of the time in there and it doesn't perform, And I'm like, that's
it's got like checks and balances in there.
Oh, man.
And I'm slowly becoming more open to AI because I do think it's like, obviously this is the future of technology and where it's going. But I just think there's like some issues with it that need to be worked out, and like a lot of what ifs and questions that the people who have made the AI can't answer right now.
There's always going to be that stuff. It doesn't matter.
But even I've been using Chat GPT, but I'll just ask it questions. Like I'll be like, like what would this style of architecture look like, or how would you describe like a
You're
tropical
using
something
it
or
like
other?
Google.
Yeah, I'm
You're
like
just Googling things
I'm
with
using it to help me
ChatGPT.
have more concise research,
More
without
concise
having
nothing. What if
to
it's
go through
wrong?
all of
Where
it.
is its fact check?
But I'm
Like, you're
not
gonna
looking
put in
for
the
like
acknowledgments. Oh, thanks to ChatGPT for writing half this story for me about
no, it
Roman
doesn't write the
architecture.
story for me, but I'm like, how could I describe some, or like what word, or like what
Yeah, you're
synonym?
asking it for words and descriptions. That's
No,
part
I'll
of
be like,
writing a
what are
story. Yep.
synonyms for this? So
Gonna have to put it in the recommendations at the very end. Be like, I recommend using this to get the other half of your book out.
no, but I'm still doing all the writing. Like I don't ask it to write.
Yeah, okay, sure. Just to describe things, right?
No, I describe the things. I just use that to help generate ideas.
Generate ideas. So you're ripping off the AI's ideas. Got it.
Can you not accuse me of ripping off the AI?
What's this now? Are you getting quiet because you're upset at the reality that you're in?
It's my story.
Typical
I'm
millennial. Say, would you like to be a postal worker? Because apparently millennials don't want to be postal workers.
No, I really don't.
There's a caveat down here. It says some millennials might choose to work as a postal worker as a side hustle. Crazy how you need more things to do.
No, Amazon delivery driver.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Younger
though, like
people are less interested in becoming travel agents because online travel platforms have become more popular. Why do you still need a travel agent?
I just kind of view them as like a scam.
Who needs travel agents? Like, you're paying someone to buy you a flight instead of just buying a flight. That used to be a thing because you used to have no way to like talk to an airline, but now there's the internet. So why would I need a travel agent?
Do they like book activities and stuff for you too? Or?
They can, yeah. Like, the travel industry has undergone significant changes in recent years. There's now a greater focus on sustainable, personalized, and experiential.
Experiential.
Oh, and chill. Whatever. New innovative roles. I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, surprise!
I actually
surprise.
know some people from high school who are travel agents.
Who are travel agents? That's crazy.
Yeah, she posts on Instagram a lot, trying to get people to book her.
Yeah, crazy.
It's like, do you know like about MLMs and stuff?
Yeah.
So it's the memes are so true online because every few months I'll check. I don't use my social media messengers. I don't like them. I don't feel like feeling pressured to speak with people on demand. So I just pretty much ignore my inboxes.
On demand. Yeah, I'll just stop texting you then, because that's the same thing.
No,
but okay.
like you're different. You're in my group.
You're different. It's a text message. It's an email. It's the same thing. It's a message from someone.
But like random people.
And like, you didn't send this to me in the mail with post notice. Like, of course it's gonna be instant.
But like they'll send me like Facebook messages like, "Hey, hun, I used to like you so much in high school. We haven't talked in so long."
No,
and, like,
so you're
this,
upset
big
at the
paragraph of
message,
stuff.
not the fact that you got it instantly.
Well,
okay.
and then they'll be like, "So do you want to buy my like DoTerra oils?" And I'm like, "No, thank you."
DoTerra oil.
Or what was like Scentsy, the DoTerra lip sense was really big for a while. Like, and the thing that drives me crazy about MLMs is like, if you have a product and it's a good product and it works, just sell it like a normal person. Like, yeah.
Like a normal, yeah. I mean,
don't make me think you want to be my friend and you're just trying to use me to sell your 90% alcohol-based lipstick. But I digress.
Okay.
You been reading anything lately?
Reading? No, I'm looking at the jobs. We're only on like number 5.
Oh, sorry.
You just keep going off on tangents. I'm like, all right, we'll get there. No, the next one, it says a full-time taxi driver. What? Okay.
Yeah.
The popularity of ride-sharing services, such as Uber or Lyft, provides greater flexibility. It's also like people are just more agitating and annoying, so I would like to work with them the least amount as possible. That's all I'm saying. Like,
and I think with the case of like taxi drivers and stuff, though, is like a lot of times taxi drivers won't take you like all over town anymore. I've seen them start to do more so now that Uber and like Lyft have kind of taken over some of the market. But I remember when I was in Vegas, like there was one night where I was, with someone, we had gone to a concert and we couldn't get an Uber or a Lyft driver to come to where we were because they had blocked off all these streets for this concert. And there were like 6 taxi drivers hanging out, but they didn't want to drive across town. I'm like, we'll pay your exorbitant taxi fare, dude. And nope, they still don't want to do it.
Taxi fare.
Yeah. And they won't do it because they want to be where the rides are quick, easy, and cheap.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't know.
My Uber driver will take me an hour across town if
I've only ever been in a taxi like twice, and it's just because Uber and Lyft like were not allowed in those cities, and that's pretty much it. And I'm like,
I don't know if I've ever been in a taxi.
Even then though, I just called the taxi company. Like I didn't hail a taxi on the street. I just called the company and be like, hey, I need to pick up here, and I'm going to here, and they're like, okay, we'll be there in 10 minutes or whatever, Like, it was a fine experience, but wait, how is this not the same as factory worker? It says textile machine operator. That's just a factory job with extra steps. Like what? It shows a picture of like a guy sewing.
Yeah, like use your hands and fingers all day, getting arthritis for years. Doesn't sound like fun.
Crazy. Yeah, and it's also like
most of the people who work in those jobs,
automation may take over your job. I'm like, yeah, because textiles are way easier to produce with automated machinery than with people sewing things by hand.
And aren't like most textile places like the child slave labor places of the
world? Yeah, and like
that's
China,
most likely to happen.
Other countries where you're like using kids, like, oh, we don't want this. Yeah, crazy.
I saw this TikTok meme yesterday that was kind of about the same thing, but it was like a lady making a video, and she was like, when you try to buy something from like a sustainable company, like, oh, 10% of our proceeds go to reducing child labor, and then she'll be like, but you are child labor. These were made by children in a factory in Ohio. Yeah, that's the other 90%. It's like, man, did that make any sense? You didn't say anything.
You had to like check the story. Like, wait a minute, did I say it right? Yeah.
He didn't laugh. I didn't know if like that was understandable.
Well, I was muted because you were still talking, and I want to like laugh over you.
Oh. Like, give me biofeedback.
Oh man, how many more of these are left? Oh my gosh, I feel like we've been on this forever. We'll speed run through these last couple ones here. Millennials don't want to be door-to-door salesmen. Apparently, It's too creepy to knock on people's doors. But you know what? 2 weeks ago, someone knocked on a door and got shot. So, that's understandable.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Next one is data entry clerk. Yeah, because you can have an AI do that. It is not hard or difficult to program something to take numbers from one spreadsheet and put them on another. Crazy. Printing press operator, again, just a factory job, really. But then, like, also, this is the same thing as the newspaper reporter. Why would you need to operate the printing press? Like, just go online. It's crazy. And that's it. Those were the last 3 jobs that millennials apparently do not want.
Also,
what's up?
Did you see some people in the US and the UK this week? Their TVs started sending them notifications where Netflix is now rolling out the household thing.
Yeah, the password sharing thing. Yep, I saw that. I haven't even tried to go on Netflix. I probably should, because it'd probably be like, hey, one of your accounts is in Nevada and one of them's in Texas. And I'd be like, nope, time to cancel that. I'm like,
yeah, my mom pays for the $4 a month plan and only one person at her house uses it. Netflix, I'm just saying, if this happens, I'm not paying for your subscription. I got Peacock and Hulu, and I use Hulu more than anything else because like Hulu's base price is amazing, and I got it bundled with Disney Plus now. Like, I don't need Netflix. Half the shows I like aren't even on there anymore, and they cancel all their good TV shows.
Okay, all right. What? I'm sorry just a quick change up here. The title of this article is just the most profound thing. It sounds like a teenager wrote this, right? Which makes sense. It says the Twilight cast has literally changed so much since filming. Okay.
Yep. It's been like over 10 years.
The first sentence says the Twilight movies, since they first came out 15 years ago, Yes, of course. People have changed in 15 years.
Yeah, the last one came out in like 2014, 2015.
What a shocking revelation that people have changed in 15 years.
You mean you don't look like you did when you were 18?
Oh my gosh. A lot has changed since it first came to the big screen. Crazy that, yeah, like, do I not look 10 right now? I feel like I'm 10. It's only been 15 years. It's crazy. Like, dude, what are these news articles today? I'm scrolling through them. We got some crazy ones here. Oh my gosh.
Also, this is random. Did you see the Great Barrier Reef has chlamydia?
No, what kind of a sentence is that? What?
Apparently it's a good thing and it could help it recover from climate change.
Who? Okay. Real talk though. Who went down there and was just like, you know what this needs? Like, who went down there and was just like, it's so pretty, I better fuck it. Like, who went down there and did that? Who gave it? What happened? Did you give it to a fish and the fish went down there? Did you just like get some coral and start rubbing? Like, what happened?
New research has discovered a chlamydia-like bacteria in corals
like
of the
bacteria.
Great Barrier Reef.
Slightly different.
It can help scientists understand the coral microbiome and its impact on coral reef health. And they said the possibility that bacteria living inside coral tissues are interacting with each other is quite thrilling. They don't know whether it hurts or helps it, but it's looking like it might help it.
So they're still studying. They're like, I don't know if it's gonna hurt or help.
They found it out 5 days ago. So
okay, yeah. So you need
this is
some
like
more
new
research. On that. Oh my gosh.
The Witcher season 5 renewed.
Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, Sprite has a new flavor.
Oh God, what is it this time?
It's strawberry lemonade Sprite. I want to try it.
That sounds good, right? Actually.
I kind of want to try it. See, my news was much happier than your news. Time to take a turn. So this kid and his dad, he went on the vacation to Somalia because they're Somalia American citizens, right? And apparently he was struggling with schizophrenia. The son was. I'm just reading this, right? His dad suggested they take a vacation to Somalia to get away, right? And one day of the vacation to Somalia, the son woke up, his dad was gone, had left the country, gone back to America, and taken the son's passport with him. He abandoned his son in Somalia.
Oh my gosh, I know like technically what you're supposed to do in situations like that, but that would just be so terrifying. Like, and to know your family did that to you, like.
Yeah. Like,
is the guy
had
okay?
No way to get back home. He said he felt alone and helpless. I'm like, oh my God. Well, obviously if he got to. Yeah, it's
yeah, because you can. So if something like that happens to you while traveling abroad, you're supposed to go to the U.S. Embassy, right, and ask them for help.
Yeah, but he's a citizen in both, but he doesn't have his passport, so you can't really prove that, right?
No,
so
but I know there's a process for like if you've lost it in another country.
Yeah, he's been trying to get his dad to send his passport back so that he can come back to America, and his dad keeps telling him that living in Somalia is better for him. He's never been to Somalia before. He's just.
I don't know what language do they even speak in Somalia. Like, does he speak the language there? Like, do they just speak like English or?
Yeah, he said he
Their
still has
official languages are Somali and Arabic. So.
Yeah, he doesn't even speak the language.
If you get lucky, maybe they do.
He said he tried to get help from the U.S. Embassy, but it was closed. What?
That's bad.
I mean, if you show up at night, usually, yeah, but there's usually like a 24-hour, like, hey, I'm an American citizen stuck here, and they'll take you in at least. He said he thought he could just cross the border and try and find help in a nearby country to a different embassy, but when he tried, they told him they wouldn't let him because he didn't have a passport. He's stuck and doesn't know what to do next. He said he's trying to ask the police in Ohio to get his passport from his dad and send it to him. He's not sure how to call the police from Somalia. I mean, if you've gotten in contact with the news, I feel like you should be able to get in contact with the police
or like somebody on your behalf can contact them. But like you could definitely have somebody send to the father's house to get the passport. That's illegal, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, if it's his passport, I don't know how old he is, but he said he's got student loans. So I mean, he's at least in college. I don't know.
Man, that's fucked.
What a piece of what a terrible human being to write this article and just be like, this is the sentence. It says his old life in the U.S. feels like a distant memory. He misses his home and the life he had before this trip. He keeps trying to find help. He found you article writing motherfucker. Yeah. How about you reach out to people to help? He's like, well, I wrote my article. There's my $10 for the day.
It's like those videos they used to post where they'd be like, $1 a day can feed a child in need, but they spent like millions of dollars to go to this country and film the commercial of these starving children. Like, why don't you help them? They're there.
Like, he's waiting for a miracle. He keeps hoping that someone will hear his cry for help and find a way to get him home. He's trapped in a foreign country waiting for a miracle. Okay, you need to keep trying the embassy, bud, first of all, but also Christoph Watkins, the guy who wrote this article, fuck you for writing this and not being like, here's where you can go to help, or like, here's where you can reach out to raise awareness for this. Like, fuck
I think
you, bud.
Like, it doesn't even cross into people's minds, obviously, but I think stuff like this is why like they tell you in school when they teach you how to respond to emergencies. That's why they train you to like tell a specific person to call 911, because everybody is always just like, oh, someone else will do it, and it's like, in an emergency, somebody just needs to step up and take care of it.
Yeah, it's very...
That's scary.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently the dad told him he'd be sending he'd be sending the passport and then just never did. So now he like keeps asking for it and you're like, I don't know, man. Apparently a woman in Maine took a baby raccoon that she got in her yard to have its nails trimmed because she was taking care of it at a Petco, right? She wanted it. She wanted this baby raccoon's nails trimmed. She gave it to Petco to get a nail trimming, and then they euthanized the baby raccoon.
What?
Yeah, I'm reading the same article you're listening to. It's crazy. The incident prompted employees to have fears that they may have been exposed to rabies, so they euthanized it. The animal later has tested negative for rabies. Okay, but like, it's sad for the woman, right? But at the same time, the CDC and the Maine Department of Fisheries and Wildlife both stated to her before they euthanized it that it is illegal to possess wildlife. Petco does not trim raccoon nails, and in accordance with their laws, since you've come in contact with it, they had to test it for rabies and euthanize it because they captured it because there's an outbreak apparently. So like, it's kind of on her, but like kind of on them, you know? Like, it's sad because it was negative, but like...
Did you see that same thing about Petco a few weeks ago? Like, this woman found all those like beta fish in the dumpster behind Petco.
No, what happened there?
Yeah, and like this woman, she's a dumpster diver. She was dumpster diving in a Petco dumpster and just found like literally like 100 or so betas live betas they just put in the dumpster.
Oh, like it's still in the water?
Yeah, like in the little water cups they sell them in.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and so she was like going through and showing them, and one, Petco already doesn't take care of their fish. Like, they look half dead in those little cups anyways. Fish are supposed to have big tanks, even little ones like
beta
that.
Fish, beta fish need at least like the standard little like tanks that you put, goldfish in.
And even goldfish need much more space than people think.
Goldfish do, yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like in all the movies and TV, you're like, oh, you want a goldfish at the fair, and they put it in that little glass bowl. That's the size of beta fish need. Goldfish need much bigger bowls because goldfish are huge when they grow up. Like, if you treat it right and put goldfish in a bigger tank, the goldfish will be huge. Goldfish just normally die small because you keep them in those small tanks that they give you.
I think betas even need like a minimum of like 10 gallons.
I don't think it's that much. No, they can easily survive in like smaller spaces, but
Okay,
not
so
the size of a little cup. Like the
so
plastic
online
cup.
it says the minimum you should consider is 5 gallons for a single fish.
Right. Yeah. But
So, but yeah,
but
they're
it
in those
depends on
tiny
its
little
growth
cups.
too. Yeah.
And then they always look so sad.
These look sad.
But people have been outraged at Petco, but I think it's annoying that people care now because like they're seeing these things when it's like you can just walk into any other stores and see that half their animals don't look happy and healthy.
Or
and
like if you ever go to the Walmarts with the fish tanks and you see like 3,000 of those tiny little fish in one thing and you can barely see the back of the tank and you're like, what is happening here?
But it's like nobody cares till they see like the horrible effects it actually has. My dad is a really big fish guy too, so.
Yeah, but they had the tank to like keep them, happy and large and healthy and all that stuff. So it's.
And now there's a chicken in the house.
And now there is a chicken. I keep forgetting that.
I feel like a lot of people just accidentally become farmers.
I don't know how you accidentally become a farmer.
Well, it's like, if you're gonna have a chicken, you might as well have this. If you might as well have this, you might as well have this. Like, I think it's like a slippery slope.
Yeah, but like that's not what a farmer is, though. Like,
would you ever become a farmer?
But that's not what a farmer is. Like, just owning a chicken does not make you a farmer.
I know.
Like I feel like a lot of people mix that up. Like, oh, I have chickens, I'm a farmer. No, it's not what that means. A farmer is someone who makes their living by growing crops or livestock. If it is not your main source of income, you are not a farmer. You have a hobby.
Yes.
We get that very confused. I'm like, you're not a farmer. Calm down.
Next, ask him to explain the difference between a bug and a glitch to you.
No. Oh boy. What is this? A ranking of all the Disney live action remakes? Okay.
Oh, I was going to talk about that.
What's up?
The Little Mermaid remake. I was a little nervous because I thought the first commercial they dropped, the CGI looked a little off to me. But in all the people who have seen it and the trailers that have dropped since then, I think it looks better. So I really want to go see it.
Well, let's find out where it ranks among the Disney remakes of live actions. Here we go. At number 20, apparently they've made 21. At number 21, worst of the worst, is Alice Through the Looking Glass. It's the second of the live action Alices that they made.
Oh, yeah. The second
I really liked Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter, though. He was easily the best character in those. Next is 102 Dalmatians. Came out in 2000. That's the one where
the worst? Is it the
second
one?
Worst? Yeah.
Oh.
It's second worst. It's the one where they have all the kids and the live action kids and they go and like fight her in like a factory. You remember that one?
Vaguely.
Yeah. Number 19 is Christopher Robin. Which it has Christopher Robin as who is it? Ewan McGregor. He plays Christopher Robin, and it came out not too long ago in 2017.
Oh,
18,
the horror movie?
Something like that. A horror movie? What? It's
there was
it's not a
there was
horror
a
movie.
Oh, I'm thinking about there was a Winnie the Pooh movie that came out that was a scary movie.
Yeah, not this one.
I think it was called Pooh or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think so. Ranking at 18 is The Jungle Book, and it's the 1994 remake of The Jungle Book, which I don't know that I've ever seen that. Right above that is last year's Pinocchio, which I haven't seen that, but I saw a bunch of commercials about it.
I don't really like Pinocchio in general. Something about
like
Pinocchio,
just the concept.
Yeah, like when I was a kid, he just creeped me out. Yeah. I think he's too close to like a clown or a puppet looking thing.
He is a puppet, dear, but okay.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He's too close to a puppet. No, he's a real boy. Calm down.
I don't like it. I just creepy.
Newsflash, Pinocchio puppet. Like, what? Oh my gosh. Okay. Number Number 16 is 101 Dalmatians, the first one from 1996. This is just the one with like the two adult Dalmatians. Number 15, Lady and the Tramp, 2019.
There was a live action?
That's what I'm thinking. Right now, my first thought was I did not know they made a live action Lady and the Tramp.
I think I vaguely remember something about it, but I never saw it.
It's got Tessa Thompson and Justin Theroux as the main voice actors.
I really liked Lady and the Tramp when I was a kid. I don't think a live action is necessary because they keep doing that thing where they make them look really like animals.
No, they used actual dogs.
Oh.
They used like just real life dogs in this. Huh.
Interesting.
Oh, here it is. Number 14, The Jungle Book. This is the 2016 one though, which has like the little kid and the wolf and the, that one. Number 13 is Peter Pan and Wendy. It came out this year. They'd made a Peter Pan and Wendy this year. What the what? Okay.
Maybe they just rank lowly because nobody knows about them.
No, it's 13. It's like halfway on this list of like it's good apparently.
Huh. Oh, the actress is pretty.
That's right. I don't know why they keep remaking Peter Pan. Like there's like probably 8 or 9 remakes of Peter Pan by now. It's very weird that they just keep doing it.
Jim Gaffigan is in it.
Captain Hook is Jude Law. All right, I might watch it.
Also, Yara Shahidi as Tinkerbell. I just know she eats that up.
Who is it?
I've never seen her anything. She's just gorgeous from her photo. Like her bone structure, she looks like a pixie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Molly Parker's in it. I know I've seen her in other
stuff. Number 12 is the first Alice in Wonderland. It's with Johnny Depp and the other lady who I guess played like Anne Hathaway and Johnny Depp in it, and neither of them are the main characters.
I liked the first one, but I don't like Alice in Wonderland that much.
Johnny Depp was the best part of both those films. Like Anne Hathaway was just okay. The who was it? The Queen, the Red Queen, her.
Mm-hmm.
She was better than Anne Hathaway and the main character. Like her and Johnny Depp kind of made that film.
Really, I like Anne Hathaway in there.
She's just okay. She doesn't play any real purpose other than just like, you are the champion, and then she leaves, and you're like, all right. Like she shows up on the battlefield in a dress.
I think I just like Anne Hathaway.
I'm just okay with her. I don't know. Number 11's Aladdin that came out a couple of years ago with Will Smith in it.
Yeah, I really like that one, but I know people like.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I think I saw it in theaters with Chelsea.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'll have to see it eventually, but
the main complaint I saw about it was a lot of people felt like Princess Jasmine wasn't as like strong and stuff in this as she was in the cartoon. Like
she like kicked ass in the cartoon one.
Yeah, and her dad's kind of an idiot in this one and like doesn't let her do stuff, and it just I still liked it and I really liked the song she sings, but it did miss a few beats personality wise.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Oh, here we go. Number 10 is The Little Mermaid, the one that just came out.
I'm really excited to see it. I like Halle Berry a lot.
10 out of 21. Hey, you know what? Pretty good. It ranked right above that. Dumbo, the 2019 live action Dumbo.
Really? I will not be watching that.
Why not? You don't like Dumbo?
I don't like Dumbo. Okay, so I don't like Alice in Wonderland and I don't like Dumbo because when I was a kid, those movies gave me nightmares when I was a kid, and every time I watch it, it just makes me really anxious.
Okay, but it had to give you nightmares. Do you know when the original story came out?
No.
It had to give you nightmares, and based on the things that were going on in this world, all right? You couldn't have happy-go-lucky cartoons. It came out in 1941.
Oh, isn't that like during the war?
It is during the war. It is during World War II. Yes, it's when it came out. Rewatch it knowing that it came out in World War II. You'll see a lot of war propaganda in there.
No wonder it's so depressing.
Yes, you can't have a happy-go-lucky movie during the World War II. Next up, though, right above that is The Lion King from a few years ago.
Still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but apparently Beyonce's in it. I did not know that. Huh. Next at number 7 is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which I think is the second one in the Maleficent movies.
They are both great. I love the Maleficent movies. They're great.
Yeah, I liked the first one a little bit better, but I like the second one as well. The second one has a lot more like fight scenes in it, which is fun.
But I like seeing their relationship like as adults, like her and Elle Fanning, I believe it is. I'm not sure if that's correct.
Yeah, that's her.
But she and Angelina Jolie just have a really great chemistry with each other, and like I really liked that like give and take, and
I think
like
Elle
that they made her not evil.
I think Elle Fanning would have been a better Alice in Alice in Wonderland than who was it, Mia something that played her?
You know what? I think I saw an interview with somebody the other day who said they auditioned for Alice in Wonderland and didn't get it.
Mia Wasikowska? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the name. Yeah. I've seen her in a lot of stuff, but
I don't know. Number 6, we got Beauty and the Beast from 2017.
I liked that one a lot.
I have not seen it. What is that with Emma Watson? Was in there, right?
Yeah, the movie is great. It starts off a little odd. Like I feel like you can really hear the auto tune in her voice in the very beginning of the movie when they're singing the opening song. But I think it found its balance like very shortly after that. So in general, I really liked it.
Yeah.
And Emma Watson looks so pretty in that dress.
Oh yeah. Apparently, I thought this movie wasn't well received, but at number 5 is Mulan, the live action.
Did not like it at all.
It was just okay.
I remember you and I fast forwarded through it.
I don't agree with that. I think Maleficent and probably some of these other ones would have been above her.
I think if they went like more magical in Mulan, it would have been fine. But I was very annoyed by the concept that they were like, "There's no magic in this world," and then they show her skating on this blue cheese stuff, which is like that is representative of magic.
Like, there's no dragons, there's no singing. They're like, she's like just a talented. She's a martial arts lady, and you're like, I got that, but like
they were trying to be more culturally sensitive, but I think they just made it worse because they appealed neither to the American masses nor the Chinese masses. Like they fucked up both sides of things. So if you liked that movie, I'm sorry, but your opinion is wrong, or you're a child.
I don't know. It was just okay. It's I don't know. Number 4 is Pete's Dragon. Did you watch Pete's Dragon? Because it's all right.
No, what is that?
It's the giant green dragon that takes care of this kid in the forest, and then one day the kid gets found by like some people from a nearby town, and they're like, "How have you been surviving out here all alone?" And he's like, "I've had my friend Pete, or my friend whatever his name is, the dragon," and it's a whole thing. And then like it's the typical like all the townspeople are afraid and need to go kill the dragon, and he's like, no, he's my friend, and all this one stuff. Anyway, it's okay. It's you know. Number 3 is the first Maleficent from 2014, which I highly agree. Maleficent was great.
And they handled such sensitive, dark topics in a really nice way. Like I really
like she got her like wings ripped off. Wasn't that in this movie, or was it the second one?
No, that was the first movie. Yeah. It was like a euphemism for like her innocence or like rape or something.
Yeah, like she went to go talk with humans, and then they like she fell in love with like the human prince, and then he drugged her and like ripped off her wings. Yeah.
That's so sad.
I remember.
But don't worry, she gets her revenge. Evil.
She does.
I think I liked that Disney made it because I think it was nice of them to show that like sometimes people are just hurt and like they act out of hurt, and it doesn't necessarily make them the villain.
I mean, she played some villainous things towards the end though, especially in the second one where she's just like, "You have hurt my family, I will kill your kingdom," you know.
To be fair, they did extinct her species nearly. So
she didn't even know about her species until the second movie. I don't even want to hear that. Like,
yeah, because they extincted them.
They did not. They were flourishing. The second movie, she finds them, and there's like thousands of them, and you're like, oh, look at all these people. And then she's like, hey, would you want to go fight this war that you're not a part of for no reason? Then they're like, I guess. Like, that's what happens in the second one.
They're like, you got great cheekbones, so anything for you.
Right. Like, I don't.
But I did like the second one as well.
Yeah, it was good, but I think they just kind of played more into like people like the action of the war sequence rather than like the actual story of it, you know?
Yeah.
But,
they were like, don't worry, this one's not as depressing.
Yeah. Number 2, that was number 3. Number 2 on this list of live action remakes is Cinderella from 2015. I don't know that I have watched that.
I've never like sat down and watched it all at once. I've seen like bits and pieces of it.
Lily James plays Cinderella, Richard Madden as the prince, Kate Blanchett as the stepmom. Yeah, I don't know that I've seen that. I can't really attest to it. I don't know.
My favorite Cinderella is still the Brandy Cinderella.
Yeah. Now,
but also I love that movie because like the prince in that movie is Asian. And then his mom and dad are like, one of them I think is black and one of them is like white or something. And then he's Asian. Like they literally did not care about like what anybody looked like in that movie. And I never once questioned it as a kid. Like,
it's amazing. They're like,
the picture is quite
color.
funny.
I don't know.
But yeah, Brandy as Cinderella was great.
What do you? That was number 2. What do you think the number 1 live action remake is on this list?
I don't even know what's left.
Apparently, there's only one left, and it is obviously Cruella 2021.
Oh, I really liked that. Yeah.
See?
I think it has some weird plot holes, but it's a good movie. It's got great vibes, and it's visually stunning. Like, it looks awesome.
It's like her origin story, kind of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her origin story is so funny too because like the whole thing is like her mom was like killed by some dogs knocking her off a cliff. Like it's really dramatic. Yeah,
so you just have it out for dogs the whole time.
They have it for like it's really like satirical, you know, but it's got a great like comedic undertone. It's really funny and dramatic. We should watch it sometime.
Oh man. All right then.
But yeah, like that's the whole thing.
Well, tell us what your favorite live action remake is. Throw it in a comment on the website. We'll tell you how wrong you were. It's fun. Speaking of which, I had speaking of emails, because we were clearly talking about emails just now. Yeah, I had a follow-up to one of the stories I told, I don't know, a few weeks ago, a month ago, something like that, where it's the one where I had an issue downloading a game from Xbox, and I got on customer service with them, and I was there for, I don't know, probably 45 minutes, an hour talking with them, until finally they said, oh, this is a known Xbox issue. We'll have it resolved. Like, our engineers are working on it. We'll have it resolved in a few days, you know? And I was upset about it and this and that, right? So eventually they did fix it. It was like a day or two later, they pushed out an update and it fixed it, right? So I'm all for it. I'm happy about it. However, since I opened the customer support case, they had to close it, right? Like they had to make sure that, I guess, they fixed it for me. So what they usually do is they send an email and it just says, hey, we're following up on your support request. Please let us know if the problem is fixed. We pushed an update out, blah, 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 right? And you can just respond yes or no. Now, this was interesting because on Tuesday of this week at 7:30 at night, 7:15 at night, I got 23 emails, all of them identical, that all said, we're following up on your support request. Please respond. And I was looking at this like all in a row, like 23 emails all in a row. And it said, we're following up on your support request. Please respond. You need to respond. I was like, oh my gosh, am I being threatened? Is this because I was angry on the phone with them? Like, what is happening? 23. Oh my god, I was very surprised. I was like, okay,
You're almost as dedicated as the guys at the club.
I was like, dude, it's fixed. Like, stop talking to me. I don't.
Like, leave me alone.
I'm like, wouldn't more people be reporting it if it was still broken? Like, that's crazy, But I was like, at least they followed up. I'm glad that the company followed up. I'm upset that they emailed me 23 times in the span of 2 minutes. Someone was just spamming it over there, like, send the email.
You reminded me. So when I went out with my friend the other night, and we went to this bar, and I already told you about my experiences, but this guy, we were watching him. He's trying to hit on this girl, right? And she clearly told him she's a lesbian. And he was like, all right, on.
As
and then like kept talking to her.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there with her water bottle, just like looking around. I'm like watching just in case like she needs help. Go and be like, hey, where you been? Or something, But she's totally fine. She's just like definitely had a look on her face, like, wow, this guy is an absolute idiot, isn't he? And then her friend eventually came over and she's like, well, I gotta go, bye. And then he came over and started talking to me, and I was like, man, you are nothing if not dedicated.
Rebound time, let's go.
And that's when my friend, she had gone to the bathroom for a minute, which is why he started talking to me, and I was just sitting there like awkwardly like, and then Chelsea came over and she's like, let's go. And I'm like, man, it really sucks for you, huh? Bye.
And like twice in 10 minutes. See ya.
Just watching this man try to shoot his shot and absolutely not understanding anybody's like body language or vibes or not, but
yeah,
he's gonna keep trying until somebody says yes.
All right, man. Yeah, good luck to you.
Overall, it was really fun. Like, they played some great music there, and the bartenders are nice. Gave you lots of free water.
Yeah. Where was that? Was that the Wonder Bar?
Wonder Bar, yeah.
Yeah.
Very crowded on a Friday, but perfect on a Thursday.
Did you win a dildo?
No, Chelsea was so close. I was so upset.
She was so close. You were upset she didn't win the
actually,
dildo.
Sorry, it was my spin. No, it was her spin. Yeah, it clicked onto main prize, right? And then went tick, right up to the next one, which was like some random cocktail.
You should have just told them. You should have been like, look, man, her boyfriend just left. She's been feeling real lonely. Can we just click it back up one? Like...
I really wanted one low key. I thought it would be funny to win it. But she got like this can of, it was like cherry limeade. And then I got something which was called an Austin Jackass. And it was like a mule almost, but it was like strawberry and mint with ginger beer.
For those who don't know what we're talking about.
There's
a bar in Austin called the Wonder Bar, and they have like it's like the Price is Right wheel, like on their wall with a bunch of prizes on there, and most of them are just like different drinks that you can win.
You can get like shots, cocktails.
But you can also win like shot glasses, t-shirts, things like that. Well, their main prize is literally just a dildo. Like, you can just win a dildo.
I told her, I was like, I really want to win so I can like slap you with it.
So you can slap her with it? Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're like, I'm going to win this, like, and I'm going to slap you with it.
So for anybody who's questioning, because there's a bunch of different types of dildos, it was like the rubber ones that are just like loose and floppy. It wasn't like
a giant glass dildo, like, I'm going to slap the shit out of you with this.
Like there's no base, there's no ball part. It's just the fluff.
Oh, that's funny.
So I thought it would be fun. We had a lot of fun the night before, earlier in the night. We had gone on the ghost tour. Which was just okay. We had a very lovely tour guide, but she said the New Orleans one that she did before was much more fun, which they have probably a lot more ghost stories.
Haunted history, like Austin's
One of the stories she told us, we went to, I think it was the Marriott. It was really nice. They had like a pool up on top of their lounge, and it was like, apparently it's one of the tallest buildings in Austin or something like that. But it was great up there. And then she proceeded to tell us like the most gruesome story. But she's like up there telling us how like this man,
look at the lovely sunset. He castrated this man.
Literally, and the sun was going down. It was beautiful. And then she was like, and then he used the axe handle to assault these women, and then killed them, and then assaulted them again after they were dead. And there were people behind us listening to the group.
Just like, ooh. Yeah, imagine you're just sitting in a club, like sitting at this nice relaxing rooftop bar, and then this group of like 10 people shows up, and they're like, now the blood sprayed everywhere. And you're like, what the heck is happening?
The girls behind us were looking, and the tour guide saw them, and she said something about it. And they were like, don't worry, we listen to crime podcasts all the time.
Man.
And she was like, it's called this if you want to join.
They were like, IRL crime podcast, let's go. Like, who's recording it? They were just looking looking around for a camera. Like,
we actually ended up following a few people on Instagram from there. Like Chelsea wanted to go hang out with them, and I was like, "Our parking's expiring. We gotta go." But it was a lot of fun. And the bars we went to were great. Learned a lot about the history of Austin, and
we got to do more stuff like that. We haven't really done much since we've been living there.
Yeah, and after having like gone and walked it a little bit, I feel much more comfortable like going out. Even for like a Friday night, it wasn't too crazy like traffic wise.
Yeah.
So and it was very walkable. Parking wasn't too expensive either.
Sense. You know what I did last night? And while you were going out and partying, I scared the ever loving shit off of the fucking cleaning lady at the hotel.
Yeah, really?
So not like on purpose, probably. I was sitting here and I was like, I think I was just playing games or watching TV or something, and they knocked on the door. And they were like, they asked for service, which I don't have one of those things that says do not disturb, because I'm here for so long. They have to come in at least once a week to clean, right? So it doesn't really matter if I put one up or not. They'll just knock anyway. But I was like, oh, I should go put a shirt on. This was like yesterday at like yesterday morning. It wasn't super late, but I was like, oh, I should go put a shirt on. I'll go answer the door. So I put a shirt on. She's still knocking, and I was like, I better hurry up. They're about to come in here and like see me. So I walk over to the door, open it up. She's sitting there like doing like that old school like eavesdropping thing where she's got like her ear to the door, like trying to listen if anyone's inside. But that was like right as I opened the door and just stared at her, and she like grabbed her chest and was like, oh, Dios mío. And she like walked off and was like, and the lady right behind her just started dying laughing and just dead. And I was like, I'm so sorry. She's like, no, that was on her. And I was like, oh, dude, in this situation, like, come back later, I guess. They were like, okay, see you later. And they just like walked off. And I closed the door. I could still hear them laughing as they walked away. And I was like, oh my gosh, she about to have a heart attack though. She looked like
got her praying.
Dude, she was, oh man. It was something.
But I'm much happy to have a nice little rest day.
Yeah, that is true. Alrighty, that's about all the time we got this week. We appreciate you tuning in. We are Mindless Prattle once more. You can find us on mindlessprattle.com or wherever you get your podcast. But if you go on the website, you can leave us a little message. We got little comment sections that'll send us a message, or you can leave us a voice message and just be like, hello.
Send us hate mail.
Ow.
What was that?
Don't worry about it. And so we we gotta go. There's a hospital nearby, right? No. But as always, we appreciate you tuning in and listening to us ramble for the past several years. However long it's been.
We're going on episode 24.
An hour or so. But that's going to do it for us this week. We'll see you all next time.